Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how you can speed up your website. That's one of the #1 complaints that people have, is that their website is extremely slow. And with WordPress, there's no doubt that WordPress can actually slow it down, because what WordPress does is WordPress is a content management system, a CMS, and what it does is it manages all the content. And so whenever a page is loaded, basically it goes and it grabs it from all these different parts and grabs it from the database, and it does multiple queries to the database, and then it puts the page together and serves it up to you. But what you can do is you can install a plugin, and the plugin will then turn around and pre-compile everything for you and create a cache, so that when somebody goes to the website, instead of WordPress having to construct it, it basically just pulls up the cache and throws it all in there, and it works really well. There's also several other settings that that caching plugins can do for you, but let's go through and look at two plugins in particular. Now, I've tested multiple plugins. These are my two favorites for speeding up the websites. So the first one is going to speed up the images by compressing them, and you basically aren't losing any quality. You're just compressing the image down to where it needs to be. So let's go and look at that. So I'm going to log in here to my dashboard, and I'm already logged in, but I'm going to come over here to my dashboard. This is the admin area, the WP admin area, and I'm going to go to plugins here, and I'm going to go to add new. And the one I'm going to look for, it's got a longer name than Smush, but there it is, Smush Image Compression and Optimization. I'm just going to click install. You can see that this one has over 1 million active installations. Always, when you're picking a plugin, make sure it has a lot of installations and has a pretty good review here. And you can see these guys have an average of 5 stars with over 3,000, almost 4,000 reviews. So really good. So once you install it, then you need to hit active or activate. And you can see it goes through this. We're just going to go ahead and click on Get Started. And now what it's going to do is, as images are installed, it's going to automatically compress them for you. But we want to look at a few of the images. I only have a couple of images here on this site, as it's still being developed. Let's go to media here. Actually, I've got quite a few here. So the homepage ones, I believe, are going to be this one and this one are the two main images that we want to compress. So I'm going to look at this one. Oh, and let me show you something here. If you go up here to view it in the list mode instead, then it's easy to see that there's this Smush Now option right here. So I'm going to click Smush Now, and you can see it's going to go through. I'm actually going to go down here, already optimized. I'm going to go here now and make sure this one is optimized too. And then it reduced it 16%. So this one was already pretty optimized. When I tested my website for speed, it was pretty quick. So it's not going to be much of a difference here to show you this, but I do want to show you that first. I should have done this before. So let's go here to, this is GT Metrics, third-party website that basically is going to show you how fast your website is. So all I did is I came here, and I put in my website domain name right here, or URL, and then I hit analyze. It takes it a second. One thing to note is where it's doing it from. If you're in China, it's probably not best to test it from Vancouver, Canada, so this site might not be best for you, but it might give you a general idea of how fast your website is. So fully loaded, this website loads in 1.3 seconds. Now, this is a basic website. It does have a huge image on the home page, and then it's got the logo, and then it really has not a whole lot else on there. So that really speeds it up. The other thing that speeds it up is the server itself. The server that it's on is very fast, and that can help speed things up. And then also the theme that I'm using. The theme is extremely fast, and I really can't express enough. I've had clients that came to me and said, why is my website so slow? And I run it through these things, and it's still incredibly slow. And then it comes back to a couple of things. They have way too many plugins, and their theme really was optimized for the way it looked and not for how fast it was. I use a premium theme called Themify Ultra, which allows for a huge amount of customization. It's not so much as a theme to where this is what you get. It's more of a theme where it gives you a whole spectrum of ways you can change it. So you do want to be careful with your plugins and your themes. So every plugin that you install, make sure you think about it a little bit and think, am I willing to sacrifice a little bit of speed for this plugin? So especially the ones that are going to be on the front and are going to be doing things on the home page and stuff like that. Those are the ones you want to reconsider or want to think about a little bit. So some things are loaded in an asynchronous way so that the site loads and then it loads these other things afterwards. So sometimes you'll see that you have 4 seconds here, but then when you look at the waterfall, you'll come down and you'll see that there's certain things that were loaded at the end after everything else was loaded, and they aren't that they're third-party software. Like if you put a Facebook plugin or box on your page, it might load separately. Your page is loading, but it's still kind of loading in the background. But this type of thing, this timer is going to wait and check the whole thing, and which can be bad in some ways because Google can also look at your website time and it can say, wow, it took 4 seconds, 6 seconds for this page to load, and then it counts that. So you do want to think about whether or not you should install third-party plugins or third-party scripts and stuff on your website. So if you have like call tracking, analytics, even Google Analytics will do it. Google Maps will do it. So you just want to be cautious of those types of things. You look here and you can see, well, if I was logged in, it would tell me what my time is for the time to first byte, which is how fast your server is. But considering that I'm getting 1.3 seconds, I know that part of that is that my server is really fast and my server's basically processing everything really quickly, which is very important to have. So if you do need a faster server, I'm going to put in a little plug here. Go to topedgeservices.com and request hosting through us, and then we can make sure you get onto a very fast server. We've got great prices. So anyway, topedgeservices.com. So this is me, Stan, and my website is Stan Tutors. Basically, this is another one of my websites that I'm doing where I teach people. I used to have a class where I teach people how to do WordPress, and so I basically come to doing this class through here. So let's go through now, and we will do another plugin. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to plugins. And I'm sorry, I should have just gone to add new, but I'm going to go to add new up here. And this is one of my favorites. This makes the site nice and fast. WP fastest cache, and there it is right there with the cheetah. Click install. You can see this has 700,000 installs. I went through and I tested 3 of the most popular caching softwares out there. I tested it, and then I would go and test the speeds that it was giving. I found that this one was the fastest one to install, and sorry, my phone went off there, but the fastest one to install, and also very easy to set it up, and then also it made the site nice and fast. So I'm going to click activate. I don't always go premium, but this is one that I have found that the premium one does boost your speed a little bit more. So if you're still struggling for speed, you might try premium of this WP fastest cache, and that puts it down here. I'm going to click there, and then we're going to enable this, and we're just going to go through. I don't need to automatically do it right now. And let's see, I want to clear the cache every time a post is created, and then I want to anytime a post or a page is created, then I'm going to clear it as well. I'm going to minify. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and that. So you can see there's several that are still missed that are available in premium. And like I said, it really only shaves a little bit extra off, but if you're really struggling to get that just a little bit more off of there, then that might be what you need to do, is go premium on this. So I'm going to hit submit. What that's going to do is that's going to cache all the stuff, and it only caches it when I go to it. So let me go to the site again. Stan Tutors. Sorry, there we go. And there's the page, and it basically just cached it. If I ever want to clear the cache, basically if I just update a page or a post or put a new post in there, it'll update and clear all the cache. But if I say I go in and I make a tweak here or there on the theme or something like that, then you just need to go in up here and you just click on this right here. So you just hover over this and click on delete cache, and that will clear the cache for you. So now let's go test it. Now we were getting 1.3 seconds. I'm not holding my breath to hope that I get anything better than that, because that's really already a great score. But let's go ahead and we'll test it again. And you can see once again it's testing it from the same location. I don't know if I've seen other locations here, but you always want to make sure that it does say the same location. If you test it from Texas one time and Vancouver the next, hey, it shaved off of a hundredth of a second, 1.2 seconds now instead of 1.3. I believe that would be a hundredth of a second. Anyway, so yeah, we're speeding it up a little bit here, and we've got a great score all the way down now, and you can see that's one of the things that those two plugins plus the great theme that I use will, and I have very few plugins on here that are slowing it down. So with those things, you should be able to speed up your site. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment in the comments on this video. Once again, if you like this video, if you'd like to see more of them, please go to stantutors.com and sign up for an account there. And be sure and like this video. Thanks.